What is good, everybody? Rocky Mountain Figures here, coming back with the second episode of my top action figures of 2020. This episode, we will be focusing on the Black Series figures, specifically my top 5 Black Series figures. If you haven't watched the first episode of this series, which was my top 5 Marvel Legends figures of 2020, what are you doing? Go watch it. Before we commence forth with the honorable mentions, just wanted to let you guys know that this list going forward, and this also applies to all of my top action figure videos in the series, are all just my opinion. All opinions are subjective. You can make your own top 5, top 10 list if you want. There are no wrong answers to any of my placements. This is all just pertaining to me, and I just wanted to share my list with all of you. So please be civil in the comment sections of this video and any other top action figure videos out there. So without further ado, let's show you guys my honorable mentions. So as you see here, I have the deluxe Zeb figure, Kit Fisto, Han Solo, which yes, this was a 2020 release, or at least this version of it. This came in the retro archive wave at the beginning of the year, alongside with Luke Skywalker and Leia and Lando. Again, I reviewed all these figures on May the 4th, so if you guys want to go back and watch that video, you can. And then we also have the Armor, which was an excellent Mandalorian figure, and Count Dooku, which was actually a veteran from my top 10 action figures of the first half of 2020 video. If you haven't watched that already, make sure you go do so. That was a fun video to make as well. So even though these figures are great in my opinion, they do not top the next 5 that you will see starting now. So let's get to the number 5 spot. And at the number 5 spot in my top 5 Black Series of 2020, here I have the Beskar Armor Mandalorian plus Grogu. The series season 1 and 2 was just outstanding in my opinion. And alongside with the series, I can also say that I love this figure of the Mandalorian and Grogu as well. This is a perfect representation of the characters from the TV series, despite the Grogu, because of course I think there's 2 versions of Grogu if I'm not mistaken. There's one with more paint and one with less paint. I got the one with less paint when it first released, so unfortunately that's a little disadvantage on my end, but still it does not affect my opinions on both of the figures overall. The accessories were definitely a step up from the carbonized and first release of Mando in his first appearance outfit, I guess I would say, right? You know, before he upgraded to the Beskar armor. And this figure's articulation, besides the cape, is also great, despite it being a Black Series figure, which, you know, in the past is not really known for putting much effort into their articulation. But with this year, they have been making an effort, and I would say that, you know, that's pretty much the reason why I got back into Black Series, was because I saw that they were putting so much effort into their figures, beginning with last year's Mandalorian carbonized figure. So anyway, I love this figure, love the show. At the number 5 spot, let's get to the number 4 spot. And at the number 4 spot here, I have the Star Wars Black Series Cad Bane from the Clone Wars series. This, alongside with other Clone Wars figures that has been released this year, was a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. Who expected that we would get finally some Clone Wars action figures in 6-inch form from Black Series? I mean, ever since I began collecting these less articulated Black Series figures, I have been hoping for some Clone Wars figures, and finally here we have it. And I'm glad that they brought it to us now than back then, because I feel like back then would have been a very big disadvantage, considering that, once again, Hasbro Black Series team wasn't making any effort to put, you know, articulation and good face models in their figures. But I think now more than ever was a perfect time to bring Clone Wars into the series. So with the inclusion of Cad Bane is an amazing figure. I've talked about him in my recent review on him. He's a very good figure, very great paint work. I love how they kind of imagine it in like a real world and then put that in a figure rather than just, you know, bringing the fully animated sculpt. I think it fits in with the rest of the Star Wars Black Series figures very well. Anyway, let's get to the top 3. And at the number 3 spot, here I have the Star Wars Black Series, also Clone Wars, Ahsoka Tano figure. So I've been thinking about this a little bit. When I hear the words Clone Wars or Star Wars Clone Wars show, the first thing I think of is Ahsoka Tano, who was one of the main characters in the series. So when us as a fan base were asking for Clone Wars figures, in my mind, I was really asking for an Ahsoka Tano figure. So to finally have the Ahsoka Tano figure that I've been asking for and wanting was just a treat for me. As a character, I love Ahsoka Tano, and in figure form, I love it even more. I love this figure a lot. She has great articulation, great sculpt. Once again, they did the same thing where they kind of brought her into the real world and then based the figure off of that, just like with the Cad Bane figure. And I love what they're doing because now she fits in very well with the rest of the Star Wars Black Series figures. So yeah, this figure for me is a amazing offering from Hasbro. But it doesn't top the next 2 figures, so let's get to the number 2 spot. And next up at the number 2 spot, here I have my favorite villain of all time, period, Darth Vader in the Star Wars Black Series form. I love this figure and I love the character of Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader. You can hate me on that. I don't care if people don't like Anakin, but once again, I feel like his character arc and development was very well thought of and just works hand in hand with how he becomes Vader. So to have a representation of the figure from also my favorite Star Wars movie, Empire Strikes Back, is awesome. This figure is an amazing representation of the character, and I love the articulation, the sculpt, the cape, and just overall, it's an amazing figure. Now, this figure was very hard for me to place in number 2 spot because I have been thinking about who is more deserving of the number 1. And originally, I had Vader in my number 1 spot in my mind for top 5 Black Series figures. But ultimately, I'm going to have to give it to, let me just take him out of the shot real quick, the Stormtrooper figure. I just had a lot more fun with this figure than any other Star Wars Black Series figure. I had the previous 2 older Stormtrooper Black Series figures. They weren't even like real Stormtrooper figures, they were just Luke and Han in disguise as Stormtroopers. I just put the helmets on and just called it Stormtrooper. But when Hasbro was finally going to re-release a new model for the Stormtrooper, I was very, very excited, very eager to get it. So I got 2 of them at my Target when they first came out, and man, they were so awesome. The mobility and articulation of the figure is on point, probably the best in the Star Wars Black Series line in my opinion, and is even better than the previous version of it. So yes, this figure is at my number 1 spot, and I can't say anything else. Enough said. This is an excellent figure. It only comes with 1 accessory, but that's all he really needs. He just needs a blaster, and there you have it, a great army builder, which I think the Stormtrooper and the Red Ninja figures is what brought me back into army building as well. So I can also thank the Stormtrooper for doing that for me anyways. So without further ado, let's get to the conclusion of the video. So there is my top 5 Star Wars Black Series figures of 2020. Tell me what you guys thought of the Black Series line this year. Tell me your favorite Black Series figures from this year. I hope to hear from you guys. Remember, keep it civil in the comment section. Next episode is going to be top 5 female figures of 2020. And the next one after that will be top 5 exclusive figures of 2020. So without further ado, let's head to the outro. Hey everybody, thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. Make sure you drop a like, leave a comment, and if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on my Instagram page at Rocky Mountain Figures, where I do toy photography shots. Also, if you're in the position to help out and want some figures, make sure to visit me on eBay, OfferUp, and Mercari. And if you haven't signed up with Macari yet, I'll leave a link down below specifically for that app. So that way when you sign up, you get a $5 coupon. And when you buy something with that coupon, I'll also get a coupon as well. So if you want to help out that way, links in the description below. Once again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.